The March 25th, 2025 meeting of the Ways and Means Committee will now come to order. Will the clerk please read the roll?
Ms. Barnhart. Ms. Barnhart is present. Mr. Baines. Mr. Baines is present. Ms. Bartholomew McCoy. Ms. Bartholomew McCoy is present. Mr. Brew. Mr. Brew is present. Mr. Colby. Mr. Colby is present. Mr. Dondorfer. Mr. Dondorfer is present. Mr. Keller. Mr. Keller is present. Chairman Mafucci.
Here.
Chairman Mafucci is present. Ms. Smith. Ms. Smith is present. Ms. Vasquez Simmons. Ms. Vasquez Simmons is present, and Mr. Udelson is excused.
Legislators, will you please stand as I lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States, to the republic. Are there any speakers for the public forum?
There is not.
The next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. You have the minutes from the February 25th, 2025 meeting before you. They will stand approved unless the clerk is notified of any changes by the end of the day. The next item on the agenda is new business. Mr. Clerk.
Referral 25-0063, authorization to enter into a grant agreement with New York State for aid relating to 2 projects at the Frederick Douglass Greater Rochester International Airport.
Moved by Legislator Vasquez Simmons, seconded by Legislator Bartholomew McCoy. Is there any discussion? Yes, Legislator Bartholomew McCoy.
Yes, through the chair. Any words or concerns around the federal distribution as of today?
Through the chair, no, I've not had any concern in the past or moving forward with the state funding.
I yield. Thank you.
Any other questions? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carried. Carries. Next item.
Referral 25-0064, authorize a contract with McFarland Johnson for design and construction supervision services for the terminal apron high mast lighting replacement project.
Moved by Legislator Vasquez Simmons, seconded by Legislator Baines. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 25-0066, amend Resolution 467 of 2023, authorizing intermunicipal agreements with other counties for services provided by the Monroe County Office of the Medical Examiner.
Moved by Legislator Vasquez Simmons, seconded by Legislator Baines. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 25-0067, amend Resolution 364 of 2023 to increase and extend the contract with Vargas Associates for professional design services for the Department of Human Services Utilization Project.
Moved by Legislator Vasquez Simmons, seconded by Legislator Baines. Is there any discussion? Legislator Barnhart.
Legislator, did you turn your mic green there? Okay. Go ahead.
Yes, through the chair. So the current lease for 691 St. Paul, in which GHS currently resides, is due to expire in December of 2026. So with that, Vargas is doing a spatialization study to identify what future space or additional space may be necessary to either relocate the staff to the facility, stay in the existing facility. And as you may imagine, the reason we're extending this for another year is there's very limited stock in the city, 200,000 square foot building stock. So it's taking us a little bit longer to determine exactly where
Thank you. Oh, there. Through the chair, to the administration, we lease 691 St. Paul, correct?
To the chair, yes.
Through the chair to the administration, is the goal to continue to find either if we stay at 691's a lease, or to perhaps find another place to lease or purchase? Do you see us purchasing or leasing in the future, I guess is what I'm asking.
Through the chair, that's part of the analysis that we're going through right now. So as the reason DES is doing this instead of DHS is we consider this to be like an engineering study. So in any good engineering study, you evaluate all the different options, whether you lease, buy, do nothing, just kind of walk away. That's what we're doing right now. So we need a little bit more time to actually figure that out.
Makes sense. Through the chair to the administration, one final question. Do you see a need for more space, or has that not been determined yet?
Through the chair, one of the things that Fargus is doing is interviewing DHS and their leadership to find out what existing staff are there and what expansion they may have in the future in terms of programs. So that would come into play in the evaluation.
Thank you.
That's yet to be determined.
Thank you. I yield the floor.
Legislator Baines.
Is this study going to be looking at school buildings that are being decommissioned, either in the city of Rochester or elsewhere? We've seen a declining enrollment of almost 50% over highs, and those buildings, were we to lease them or buy them, money would at least be in taxpayer pockets.
So through the chair, yes, actually we're looking at all buildings, but as you can imagine, schools generally have a number of classrooms, so it's not wide open space, similar to what DHS uses now. So part of that analysis is what costs it would be to renovate the building, which could be quite expensive, but that will be evaluated.
So through the administration, through you, Mr. Chair, to the administration, so the existing space that you use now, would it be like the large room you're in would be larger than a gymnasium in a school, for instance?
Through the chair, yes. 691 right now, as you can maybe imagine, it was an old Bauchelon building. It's got an open floor plan. Essentially, it's a number of cubicles, a couple of small offices for staff, but for supervisors. But generally speaking, it's open cubicle space. So something like an old school that has a number of walls may not be really conducive to that based on the need to have wide open space.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Legislator Bartholomew McCoy.
Chair, I see the original contract ended on 12/31/2024. Are we covered under a month-to-month contract?
Through the chair, to clarify, with services to continue?
Yes.
Yes, quite frankly, we did an under $20,000 contract to keep the project moving. As I stated before, the project or the lease right now expires in 2026, so we don't have an awful lot of time. We have to keep this project moving as quickly as possible.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 25-0068, amend resolution 428 of 2024, authorization to contract for Office of the Aging programs in 2025-2026.
Moved by Legislator Vasquez-Simmons, seconded by Legislator Baines. Any discussion? Legislator Baines.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, the administration, in this contract is $104,000 for adult daycare. Could you explain why there's no data for the existing program? Is that because it's being started now?
Through the chair, we have not had a contractor able to provide these services as a result of a lot of COVID-19 changes since about 2022. So we're thrilled that we have a provider this year that is able to apply for the contract.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, it shows in the referral letter that you'll serve 20 clients for the $104,000. What would the frequency be of their attendance and duration of individual attendance at the adult daycare?
Through the chair, that represents about 4,000 hours of social adult day services for those 20 people, representing about 208 hours for each person at a rate of about $25.99 per hour. That rate includes transportation, meals, and services.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, this sounds wonderful. My question then is, how do you triage access to the program if more than 20 caregivers who are sorely pressed to full seek this support?
Through the chair, the funds are designated to provide caregiver respite as indicated. And our provider is going to be triaging not only these services of social adult day service, but additional ancillary services through multiple other providers of ours through a case management service.
Through you, Mr. Chair. I'm sorry, I didn't quite follow or hear that. So you have some backup, is that what you were saying? You'll have backup if you have an overflow of more than 20 folks who need services?
Through the chair, this is one of many caregiver support services available through the Office for the Aging through this particular funding stream. So while we may not be able to serve more than those 4,000 hours, and again, there may be more than 20 people, we may be able to utilize that with additional people, but less hours, depending on what the need is for each caregiver. But in addition to these caregiver respite services, through social adult day service, there are additional caregiver support services available.
Thank you. I yield.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Next item.
Referral 25-0069, authorize an intermunicipal agreement with Genesee Livingston Steuben, Wyoming Board of Cooperative Educational Services for nursing student clinical placements at Monroe Community Hospital.
Moved by Legislator Vasquez-Simmons, seconded by Legislator Baines. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 25-0070, authorize a contract with CP Ward for construction services for the Redmond Road Bridge over Yantee Creek project in the town of Hamlin.
Moved by Legislator Vasquez-Simmons, seconded by Legislator Baines. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 25-0071, amend the 2025-2030 capital improvement program or project to advance the traffic signal and systems replacement Group 1 project from 2026 to 2025, amend the 2025 budget to increase funding for the project entitled traffic signal and systems replacement Group 1, and amend bond resolution 116 of 2023 to increase funding for the project.
Moved by Legislator Vasquez-Simmons, seconded by Legislator Baines. Is there any discussion? Legislator Baines.
Through you to the administration, what's the primary reason for advancing this project?
Through the chair, we had completed the design early, and New York State DOT had requested that we move the project up to use funds from 25 so that they can make more room for 26 funds for future projects.
Are these projects driven by the condition, through you, Mr. Chairman, are these projects driven by the condition of these intersections and their signals, or is it driven by a desire to upgrade the safety and technology of them, or both?
Through the chair, these are the signals that are in the worst condition in the county.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, has there been any study of these intersections to indicate that they are more or less hazardous than other intersections as we decide which to prioritize on the basis of safety?
Through the chair, there is not, but these are probably most likely the oldest signals that are out there.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 25-0072, amend the 2025-2030 capital improvement program to expand the scope of and to advance the Turk Hill Road Bridge over Thomas Creek tributary project from 2027 to 2025. Amend the 2025 capital budget to add a project entitled Turk Hill Road Bridge over Thomas Creek tributary. Authorize financing for the project. Authorize contracts with Colliers Engineering and Design, Architecture, Landscape Architecture, Surveying, and the New York State Department of Transportation for the Turk Hill Road Bridge over Thomas Creek tributary project in the town of Parenton.
Moved by legislator Vasquez Simmons, seconded by legislator Bartholomew McCoy and legislator Baines. Any discussion? Legislator Baines.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, to the administration, can you share the primary reason why this project has been advanced by 2 years?
Yes, through the chair, we originally had this programmed in our CIP, assuming that it was going to be county funds, but we applied for the Bridge New York program, where 95% of the funds are paid for by the federal government, so we accelerated it to do that.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, has there been any coordination with the town officials or village officials or departments of public works regarding the plan for this?
Through the chair, yes, there has been.
Has there been any, through the chair, has there been any coordination or consideration given to the fact that the main street of the village of Fairport, which is the north-south arterial road immediately to the west of Turk Hill, will be closed for the entire summer, and possibly, if there are complications, for longer? Is that a concern that there'll be that level of disruption in such a tight corridor?
Through the chair, one of the reasons that we need more money for this project is because we're recognizing the need that we're going to have to only be able to build this bridge half at a time so that we can maintain traffic and not send vehicles through the village of Fairport.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, you know, I inspected the site today, and you can't see a bridge from the road. It looks like a massive culvert to me. Do we call this a bridge because there's a creek under it, or why isn't it a culvert? If the water goes through a large tin or metal cylinder, which is encased in concrete, and it goes through an embankment. Above that concrete encasement is an embankment in the road.
Through the chair, if the span of the structure is less than 20 feet, it's considered a culvert. If the span is 20 feet or greater, it's considered a bridge.
So through you, Mr. Chair, so the actual opening of the metal cylinder is more than 20 feet wide for this bridge?
Through the chair, yes.
Are we looking at flood control as it relates to this creek and some of the issues that we have downstream?
Through the chair.
Through the chair.
Through the chair, yes, we always look at the repercussions of what we're going to install both upstream and downstream. That's part of the design report process.
Through the chair, have you designed the culvert opening in a consistent way with the culvert opening in the Thomas Creek project going on just to the west on Route 250?
Through the chair, could you repeat that question?
Yes. Is the sizing of the culvert, or the large metal tube at the bridge site where the water goes through, are you sizing that in a way that's proportional to the sizing of the same opening for the water to flow under the reconstructed bridge on Route 250?
Through the chair, yeah, I guess they can be considered separate because of what we're looking at upstream and downstream versus what they're doing.
So through the chair, on that site, there's a massive bridge just to the south and another massive bridge just to the north on Turk Hill. The bridge to the south spans a pretty wide section of the Erie Canal, and the bridge to the north spans the entire railway system through that portion of the county. Are those bridges also the responsibility of Monroe County?
Through the chair, no.
Through the chair, so have you discussed with, folks responsible for those bridges, what their repair or update schedule is for those bridges?
Through,
The subject of the bridge or across the Little Creek, we're talking about all the bridges in the village now, it seems like.
I'd like to be heard, on the point of order. The concern is the disruption and whether or not we can coordinate this with, another project in the same site.
If there's really no discussion, I'll allow you to ask the question, but please make sure your questions are about this actual referral and not anything tangential.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. As we schedule our work on this bridge slash culvert, have we coordinated it with the scheduling or any knowledge we have of scheduling for upgrades or repairs to the large bridges to the north and south of it?
through the chair, I don't know the condition of those particular bridges because I'm not responsible for them. But I have not heard anything from them pertaining to redoing anything on those particular bridges. And we did notify them of what we were doing on our bridge.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 25-0073, amend the 2025-2030 capital improvement program to expand the scope of and to advance the Vintage Lane Bridge over Round Pond Creek project from 2026 to 2025. Amend the 2025 capital budget to add a project entitled Vintage Lane Bridge over Round Pond Creek. Authorize financing for the project and authorize a contract with Greenman Peterson for the Vintage Lane Bridge over Round Pond Creek project in the town of Greece.
Moved by Legislator Vasquez Simmons, seconded by Legislator Baines. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Legislator Brew, sorry about that.
That's through the chairman to administration. What is the length of this bridge? I just wanted to clarify if this is a bridge or actually a culvert.
Through the chair, I don't have the exact measurement, but if it's if we're calling it a bridge, it's over 20-foot span.
Thank you.
Legislator Smith.
Through the chair to the administration, I noticed this also was moved up in the timeline due to the New York State federal funding. Is that true?
Through the chair, yes, this is Bridge New York funding.
Great. I just want to thank Governor County DOT for looking for additional funding for us, so I appreciate that. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 25-0074, amend the 2025-2030 capital improvement program and 2025 capital budget to expand the scope of and increase funding for the highway preventive maintenance at number 11 project, amend bond resolution 356 of 2024 to provide an increase in funding, authorize a contract with Keeler Construction Company for construction services.
Moved by Legislator Vasquez Simmons, seconded by Legislator Baines. Is there any discussion? Seeing none. Legislator Colby.
To you, Mr. Chairman, to the administration. This is 95% funded by the state and the federal government. When you have an increase in funding, do you have to get authorization for the increase too, or just from us?
Through the chair, it needs to be approved through them as well.
Do they, through the chairman, do they get to approve it before us or after us?
Through the chair, I would, before.
So it's already been approved,
Through the-
increase up from them.
Yes, through the chair, the money's been, the extra increases have been approved, yes.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 25-0075, amend the 2025-2030 capital improvement program and the 2025 capital budget to add a project entitled Clem Road Culvert, authorize financing for the project, authorize contracts with Fisher Associates and the New York State Department of Transportation for the Clem Road Culvert project in the town of Webster.
Moved by legislator Vasquez Simmons, seconded by legislator Baines. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in, Legislator Colby.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, why is this one only being, approved for 68% from the federal government, bridge program, where the other ones are 95? Or are they different programs?
Through the chair, they're the same program, but as they dwindled the amount of money they had for the Bridge New York program, they tried making the money go as far as they could. So they offered 68% of us for this project and asked us if we wanted it. And of course, I'd rather have 68% than 0. So we said, yes, we'll accept it.
So that was at the, just through the chair, that was at the discretion of the state and what percentages?
Through the chair, yes.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 25-0076, acceptance of a grant from the United States Department of Justice, Office of Justice Programs for the 2024 DNA Capacity Enhancement Program.
Moved by legislator Vasquez Simmons, seconded by legislator Baines. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 25-0077, authorize intermunicipal agreements with 10 municipalities for the Stop DWI law enforcement program.
Moved by legislator Vasquez Simmons, seconded by legislator Baines. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 25-0078, acceptance of a grant from the New York State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services for the 2024 Public Safety Answering Points Operations Grant Program.
Moved by legislator Vasquez Simmons, seconded by legislator Baines. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 25-0079, acceptance of a grant from the United States Department of Justice, United States Marshal Service, Western District of New York, for the United States Marshal Service, New York, New Jersey, Regional Fugitive Task Force, Rochester Division.
Moved by legislator Vasquez Simmons, seconded by legislator Baines. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 25-0080, authorize federal equitable sharing agreements with the United States Department of Justice and the United States Department of the Treasury.
Moved by legislator Vasquez Simmons, seconded by legislator Baines. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 25-0081, acceptance of a grant from the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services for criminal justice discovery reform funding for the District Attorney's Office and the Department of Public Safety, Office of Probation and Community Corrections.
Moved by legislator Vasquez Simmons, seconded by legislator Baines. Is there any discussion? Legislator Baines.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, can representatives of the District Attorney's Office speak to the question of how much the current discovery laws have affected the performance of your duties, or in any event, has it led to the dismissal of charges against defendants because the discovery requirements were unable to be met?
Through the chair, no, I am not able to answer that question at this time in regard to actual case numbers.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, prior to full legislature, um, could you please provide data in terms of cases and the level of severity of them, whether they're Class A felonies all the way down to misdemeanors? If you could provide data, please, regarding how many cases you believe have been dismissed on the basis of the current discovery law that this grant is attempting to mitigate. Thank you.
Any answer to that, or?
Through the chair, yes, I'll have data for you before full legislature.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, item carries. Next item.
Referral 25-0082, erroneous assessments, corrections, and cancellations.
Moved by legislator Vasquez Simmons, seconded by legislator Baines. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 25-0084, authorization to settle a lawsuit in New York State Supreme Court, Monroe County, index number E2017000654.
Moved by legislator Vasquez Simmons, seconded by legislator Baines. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 25-0085, amend Resolution 31 of 2024 to amend and increase the contracts to provide temporary nursing staff at Monroe Community Hospital.
Moved by legislator Vasquez Simmons, seconded by legislator Baines. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 25-0086, acceptance of a grant from the Genesee Transportation Council for the Monroe County High Accident Location Program.
Moved by legislator Vasquez Simmons, seconded by legislator Baines. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 25-0087, amend the 2025 capital budget to increase funding for the projects entitled Network Infrastructure and Office Equipment Refresh and Replacement, and decrease funding for the project entitled ERP Security. Authorize interfund transfers.
Moved by legislator Vasquez Simmons, seconded by legislator Baines. Is there any discussion? Legislator Baines.
Through you to the administration, in the last paragraph of the first page of the referral letter, it reads, cash contributions to the ERP security project for the past several years have not been fully utilized, and it is foreseen that the transition from SAP to Workday will require reduced annual funding. Could you explain to this body what that means by cash contributions and how they were not utilized, please?
Mr. Chairman, while our Chief Information Officer gets settled, I will reference the cash contribution portion of the question. This honorable body, through our annual operating budget adoption each since authorized annual appropriations for provision for capital, which has been an operating transfer from the general fund to these various capital funds, set dollar amounts. I'll turn it over to our Chief Information Officer.
Thank you. Through the chair, as we estimate going forward for security services specifically, it's hard to determine what we're going to spend. So over the years, we're expecting to spend more on security services. We've been evaluating every product that we get, so we just haven't spent as much as we thought. Therefore, we have a higher amount left in that fund, which we're now able to use for other things.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 25-0088, authorization to settle a lawsuit in New York State Supreme Court, Monroe County, index number E2021008899.
Moved by legislator Vasquez Simmons, seconded by legislator Baines. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 25-0089, authorization to settle a lawsuit in New York State Supreme Court, Monroe County, index number E2021004044.
Moved by legislator Vasquez Simmons, seconded by legislator Baines. Is there any discussion? Legislator Baines.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, for the record, I'd like to thank the Law Department for holding briefings on all three of the matters that came before us today. Because they are matters of litigation, those meetings were confidential, but they were fully, subscribed by all interested parties, and all of our questions were answered, all mine were. Thank you.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 25-0093, increase the total project authorization for the projects entitled Sheriff's Scuba Truck Replacement and Sheriff's Body Worn Camera and Taser Project.
By legislator Vasquez Simmons, seconded by legislator Baines. Is there any discussion? Legislator Barnhart.
Yes, thank you. Through the chair to the administration, on the body worn camera and taser project, it's my understanding that this is part of a larger $15.4 million purchasing contract that we signed with Axon over 10 years. Can you confirm that?
Through the chair, Jennifer Curley, yes, that is correct. It's the same project.
Thank you. Through the chair to the administration, can you explain the financing of that $15.4 million? So some of it is being financed through capital funds and some of it is not. Are all the cameras being financed through capital funds? Can you just talk us through that?
Through the chair, part of it is capital, the rest is grant funding.
Thank you. Through the chair to the administration, this referral says that we did vote on the capital funds for the tasers and the cameras, and we're voting again to adjust that capital funding. But can you confirm, we did not vote on the $15.4 million contract itself?
Through the chair, that is correct. You did not vote on that.
Through the chair to the administration, I've had written correspondence with the county attorney on this. Can you explain why the legislature didn't vote on the actual contract with Axon, the 10-year contract?
Through the chair, as I've indicated in written correspondence with the legislator, because it is a purchase of goods and services that falls within the authority of the purchasing manager.
Thank you very much. I yield the floor.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Are there any other matters to come before this committee? Seeing none, there being no other matters, the March 25th, 2025 meeting of the Ways and Means Committee stands adjourned. The next meeting of the Ways and Means Committee will be Tuesday, April 22nd, 2025 at 6 p.m.